Miranda, child, you are an experienced dater. What does that tell you when a nigga does not call, text, write, email, send a smoke signal, a singing telegram, or nothing for 3 months? What's up, it's Nikki. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be reviewing episode 8 of And Just Like That, the HBO Max Sex and the City spinoff series. Y'all, I really am truly confused, baffled, bewildered as to why the writers feel like Shay is the fan favorite character. Why does Shay Diaz get more screen time than Harry and Steve? Why do they keep shoving their stupid stand-up comedy routine down our freaking throats? Child, if I gotta see Shay Diaz do one more comedy concert, I'm literally gonna die. Like, I'm so serious, y'all. I cannot. How many more episodes left? We gotta get this over with. Then, when the camera pans to Miranda in the crowd laughing, child, what the heck is funny? What was funny? Then, they keep having fans come up to Shay, child. Okay, whatever. Look, writers, y'all cannot convince me that Shay Diaz is funny or that Shay Diaz is the #1 book comedian in all of New York. Yo, they could literally play Shay Diaz comedy routine to POWs. I'm so serious. They will spill all the secrets just begging for it to be turned off. So Miranda ends up seeing Brady at the Pride comedy concert. I'm not really clear on what this event was. I mean, it was only like 8 people in the crowd. Do Pride parades have comedians? I don't know, child. But Brady was there as an ally, and Miranda ended up sneaking away. She actually looked really ridiculous. So Shay ends up asking Miranda why she left. And Miranda lets her know that her son was there, and she did not want him to see her. So, y'all, Shay Diaz asks, he doesn't know about me? Hun, why would her son know she cheating on his father? He don't know about you. No. Why would he know who his mother's mistress is? Or the non-gendered word for mistress? Why would he know who his mama cheating with? So then Shay says, he doesn't know you're in an open marriage? Y'all, I was so confused. I was so confused by this dialogue. First, if they were in an open marriage, why would their son know that? I believe in being open with your kids. My mama was always very open and honest with me. But child, why would his parents say to him, hey son, so me and your father are screwing other people? I mean, am I tripping? Is that something parents tell their kids? I wouldn't tell my child that if my child was 30 years old. It ain't my child business. I don't know. And second, when the heck did Miranda and Shay have the conversation that she in an open marriage? As I was watching, I was so confused. Like, yo, did I miss that? If I meet someone, right, and they are married, and I finger them in my employee's kitchen, I'm gonna deduce that they cheating. Unless fingers don't count. I don't know. But how the heck did Shay just come to the conclusion on her own that Miranda is in an open marriage? Baby, that's wishful thinking. Your girl is committing adultery. Who just assumes something like that when it never came out of the person's mouth? Y'all, what am I missing? What am I missing? This was so freaking odd to me. So Shay repeats herself and says, you are in an open marriage, aren't you? Yo, where did this come from? How do you screw somebody that's married and just take it upon yourself to say they in an open marriage? Child, you are on the outside of the marriage. You cannot deem it open. The people inside the marriage have to do that. But the thing that really And all of it was throwing me. But the thing that really threw me was when Miranda said, I wasn't until you. If somebody say, you are in an open marriage, aren't you? How do you respond with, I wasn't until you? Miranda, do you know what an open marriage is? Bitch, you cheating. Why is the show acting like Miranda and Shay do not know that they have been cheating? So Miranda says, I never said I was in an open marriage. And y'all, why does Shay say, you never said you weren't? My nigga, who is right in this ish? Who is right in this ish? This conversation sounds so motherfucking stupid. Y'all, I cannot. This sounds like some teenagers talking. If I'm talking to somebody and they say, Nikki, you aren't a white woman, and I say, I never said I was a white woman, and then they say, well, you never said you weren't a white woman. What? The hell kind of sense and logic does this make? You assume somebody is something just because they never said they weren't? What? Yo, what? I'm gonna assume you going to the moon because, well, you never said you weren't going to the moon. Huh? Am I tripping? Y'all, am I tripping? Am I the one tripping? I thought you was going to give me $1 million. I never said I was going to give you $1 million. Well, you never said you weren't going to give me $1 million. Yeah. Shut. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. This is stupid. This is so freaking dumb, y'all. Is this really grown ass behind people talking like this? I'm going to assume that you're in an open marriage because you never said you weren't in an open marriage? Y'all, am I the dumb one? Like, for real, y'all, am I the dumb one? Does this make complete sense to y'all and I'm just tripping? So Shay says, you get out of my bed and go home to your husband. That's an open marriage. No, baby, that's cheating. That's cheating. Why do they have 50-something women acting like they don't know what the hell cheating is? What are we doing? And child, when Miranda say, this whole happened so fast. Excuse me, dear. It actually didn't happen that fast. My nigga, y'all done had rain, snow, sleet, hail, and sunshine on the show. So it wasn't that damn fast, my G. Y'all had time for the snow to fall, and y'all had time for the motherfucking snow to melt. Y'all had time for Carrie to be laid up in the motherfucking hospital. And y'all had time for Miranda to be getting Freddy Krueger in the motherfucking kitchen. It ain't been that damn fast. Y'all, oh God, this show, I'm not watching season 2. And Miranda being shocked that Shay walked away was so ridiculous. Why the hell wouldn't I walk away? But Shay's stupid anyway, because how you, whatever. So they start the violins as Shay tosses her coffee in the trash. What was that? Did y'all notice that? Child, so that's supposed to, like, what, hurt Miranda that the coffee she got for Shay was being dumped in the motherfucking trash? Okay, let me get my blood pressure down. Let me breathe. And y'all, how are they in love when they obviously don't even talk to each other? How the hell you don't know about the state of somebody's marriage, but you in love with them? For real? Shay and Miranda don't ever talk. They just be screwing. But this supposed to be some kind of love story? Anyway, we get Carrie and her new fave gal pal, Seema. And I have seen people on Twitter saying Seema is supposed to be the new Samantha. She supposed to be the new Samantha character? I don't get Samantha vibes from Seema. Y'all, how is Seema the new Samantha character? Am I missing something? She's not nearly as fun. I don't know. She don't remind me of Samantha. I don't know how, like, other than them both being successful and both having S names, they're not similar to me. I'm just not seeing it. Y'all, what am I missing? And why do I feel like sometimes Carrie's apartment looks small and sometimes it look big? Am I tripping? Okay. And just aesthetically, I don't like Carrie's apartment. What's with that wallpaper? I don't know. Anyway. So Carrie tells Seema how she dresses in this Halloween costume, because that's what it looked like, child, and goes outside to smoke so her apartment won't smell like cigarettes. She walks the block in this costume and smokes her cigarette. Well, won't the costume smell like cigarettes? And won't you be walking into your apartment wearing said costume that you were just smoking in? And where do you put said costume at in the apartment? Where you store it at, girl? Won't your mouth taste like cigarettes? If you put a little bandana over your head, won't your hair still smell like cigarettes? I don't know. I was confused. But y'all, if the writers don't care, I guess I don't care. But Carrie ends up getting a new neighbor, right? A young girl who sits outside on the day stoop at all times of the night with a group of friends being loud and obnoxious and rude. This was really confusing. Because why was Carrie obsessed with this random girl seeing her as cool? Then she complained about the roosters on the roof, but she didn't care that the roosters ain't think she wasn't cool. I don't know. And why are we correlating telling somebody they disturbing you and being rude to you not being cool? I don't care if I'm 21, 31, or 61. I don't want to hear people outside my motherfucking bedroom window loud at any time of the day, really, but especially when I'm trying to go to sleep. And y'all, I was so freaking confused for a second when Carrie called some Asian guy, because that's what I thought he was, just some Asian guy. I was like, who the heck is this? When did Carrie befriend a random Asian guy? But it was her co-host from the damn podcast. Now, this ain't make no sense whatsoever. We have never seen this guy outside of the podcast. And now, randomly, Carrie has no one to call except him to ask his dumbass question. And his girlfriend name is Smoke. The hell is she, an X-Men? Y'all, what is going on with this show? What is Carrie's storyline? First of all, what is Carrie's storyline? I mean, for real. Y'all, what the hell does Carrie do? What does Carrie do? So, the downstairs neighbor ends up coming up to Carrie's apartment and apologizing, as she should, because the night before Carrie did yell out of her window because they were being super loud. But Carrie ends up like stuttering and stumbling and lying and said she wasn't asleep. She stays up late, okay? She only said something because she was writing. She's a writer. Why she lie? This was so odd. I mean, to me, this ain't got nothing to do with age or cool. And who gives a ish when it is that you go to sleep? Any person with a job who needs to get up early would need to go to sleep at a certain time, even though Carrie ain't got no motherfucking job. But the point is, the neighbor should apologize. And it don't matter what Carrie was doing in her apartment. Why didn't she just accept the apology? Why did she make this such a big deal? Why the hell was Carrie so obsessed with this damn neighbor? Like, why are you obsessed with this random neighbor who you do not know from a can of paint, viewing you as cool? Whatever. So Carrie decides to bring brownies to her neighbor to apologize for not being cool? Child, I just don't get it. What does cool have to do with anything? So, cool people want to hear loud ass talking and laughing outside their apartment, cackling, laughing, and howling all hours of the night? Is that what cool people want? Like, I'm confused. And when Carrie was going to clubs and stuff and she was never outside her apartment with a group of people being loud, was she considered cool? Like, what? I don't understand. Now, Carrie would be sitting on the steps having a conversation at a normal level, but she was never with a group of people all hours of the night being loud and being rude. And child, why when Carrie was trying to figure out how the neighbor is so young but can't afford the apartment, why does Seema suggest that she's a Russian hooker? That felt weird. I thought y'all was focused on being woke. Why would you say something like that? Y'all, am I tripping? Am I being overdramatic? That felt odd. She said something about high-end real estate. If it's a young girl, she must be a Russian hooker. And doesn't Carrie live somewhere that's like, I don't know the word, but she said a word that I had to Google in another episode about her apartment in New York where you have like to approve new tenants. Remember when Blair Underwood moved into Miranda's building and had to meet with like the tenants board or some ish? So wouldn't Carrie have had to approve the new tenant? So how did she know anything about the girl? But then when she talking to Seema later, suddenly she knows why the girl moved to New York and her whole life motherfucking story. How the hell did Carrie get this info? Now, she found out the girl is a designer because she walks into old girl apartment on her own because of loud music. And when she knocks on the door, it just opens and the neighbor is passed out on the sofa. First of all, y'all not in a doorman building, and I don't think they in a buzzer type building. So yeah, this ain't safe. But Carrie just walks into old girl apartment and goes through her things, picks up her FedEx package. What the hell? I ain't never heard of no itch like this in my whole entire life. Like, for real. Child, if I'm knocking on somebody's apartment door and no one answers, I'm just gonna leave, child. I'm not gonna walk inside somebody else's apartment and touch their things. Y'all, this was so outrageous. Are the writers in the real world at all? So, okay. This was actually kind of funny. Charlotte and Harry are in the bathroom and she goes to service Harry orally. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that on YouTube. When Lily starts towards the bathroom and Charlotte slams the door right in Lily's face. Like she gets hit in her forehead with the bathroom door. Just boop! Right in the forehead. Which she deserves because Lily is a motherfucking brat. Child. Oh my God. This little girl, I can't. And people wonder why I don't want kids. Child, I be done with the jail. I can't with no little teenagers like this. So Carrie, Charlotte, and Miranda end up having dinner together. And Charlotte tells them about everything that happened, right? And this confused me. Y'all, what was I missing? Wasn't they on the show called Sex and the City? What was with the shock and surprise and the, you still blow Harry? Is it his birthday? Is he dying? First of all, why am I doing that to a dead man? Well, what are y'all talking about? Were they for real? And why did Charlotte say she's going to sit down with her 15-year-old daughter like two adults? Child, y'all aren't two adults. You mean sit down like her parent and their minor child? Charlotte made a huge deal about Lily walking in on her and Harry when, child, Lily ain't even see anything. She got knocked in the motherfucking head. All she saw was stars. And also, what kind of storyline was this? I mean, a 15-year-old doesn't know what that act is. She really would believe that Charlotte was checking him for cancer. But people trying to convince me that Euphoria is true to life with teenagers, but Lily believe her mama would. Okay, so Charlotte takes Lily out to eat at a really nice restaurant, and I mean, it's Charlotte, so you know it's an expensive place. So let me take my child to some place like this and drop some money on a bill like this and have her talk to me like Lily was talking to her mama. Lily was a jerk the entire restaurant scene. The writers just cannot make any of these characters likable, child. It's truly astonishing. So Lily gets up to go get a straw because having a waiter bring it is disgusting. So can a waiter bring you your plate? I'm confused. I guess she a germaphobe? I don't know. Nah, she gonna go to the kitchen to get her plate? I don't know. Now while she away from the table, Charlotte picks up her phone and sees a risque photo on Lily's Instagram. The way she dressed, the way she posed. So of course Charlotte confronts her about it. Now, I am typically that person always telling my friends to give their kids privacy that is healthy. I even had a situation where I was trying to convince somebody not to read their child diary, that was a violation. and that kids should have a certain level of privacy. But then situations like this happen, and for me, child, you don't get privacy on the phone that your motherfucker pay for. I wish my child would talk to me like this. Little nigga, this is my phone. If I adopted an Asian child, this is exactly how I would talk to her. Little nigga, this my phone. Go get you a job by your own phone. Then get your own little privacy on your little phone. And even then, you ain't get no privacy. The one with the cash sets the rules. Learn it and learn it early. I pay for the phone. That's my phone. But child, Lily gets her little tail up and walks away from Charlotte as she talking to her and telling her to come back here. Child, I would have got up from that table and ganked her little ass up. And would Charlotte really be yelling in the middle of the restaurant? Okay, hold on. Let me calm down. I cannot be on Beyonce's internet exposing myself like this, child. Don't hit your kids. But my fictitious teenage kids, child, I'm bopping them right on their forehead. This little girl, child. Nah, I wouldn't be a strict parent because I'm just not a strict person. Like, that's just not who I am. But the one line that cannot be crossed is disrespect. I cannot with disrespectful behind teenagers. Child, Lily, look, I don't need to end up in jail because we gonna be up in this mug, busting a motherfucking move. I wish my child would walk the hell away from me like that while I'm at the money. And I done paid for you to come to this expensive behind restaurant too. And I'm paying for you expensive behind iPhone. I know this iPhone. I would have picked the damn salt shaker up off the table and bopped her right in the back of her motherfucking entitled ass head. So, let me get my blood pressure down. I can't with teenagers. So Lily ends up spending the night at Carrie's house because she did not want to go home. Charlotte calls Carrie and says it'll be good for her and it'll be good for Charlotte. They need some time apart. But as Charlotte is telling Carrie about the Instagram situation, Lord, Carrie make everything about me Bradshaw equates how a 15-year-old is dressing on Instagram to how she dressed in her damn 30s. Child, do not go to your friends with no kids for no parenting advice. That's all I can say. Now, I might have worn some little short shorts when I was 15, but I'm a Floridian and it get hot, child. But the way I dress at 30 is not how I dress at 15. And I would not equate that if I'm talking to my friend about a 15-year-old child. How that, like, they don't even, okay. Anyway, so when Lily gets home, her and Charlotte talk, and it turns out the Instagram page is private with only a few friends, which somehow makes Charlotte feel better. Look, little girl, you can pose sexy and do whatever the heck you want, tie your little shirt up, show you a little better in your bedroom, looking in the motherfucking mirror. But at 15, don't post that ish on social media. That's what I be saying to my child. I would have took her phone with her sitting right there and I would have deactivated the motherfucking page. But hey, that's why I'm not a parent. I don't have to deal with the teenage stress. Y'all got that. I can't with Charlotte goddamn kids, y'all. They both brats. Like, really. Rose's attitude when her parents asked her about the name change thing and she was like, I put it on TikTok. Look, nigga, I ain't asked you about your motherfucking social media. I'm your parent, and as your parent, you speak to me and answer my questions. You don't update me via social media? Like, what kind of mess was that? I have said from the very beginning that I wanted Charlotte kids to be just like Charlotte dog. Meaning, just in the background where we know they here, we know they exist, but they are not a part of the storyline, child. Okay, so let's get down to the real foolishness of the episode. At the dinner the girls all had, Miranda tells them that she is going to ask Steve for a divorce because it is not fair to Shay. That is the first thing she said. The first person she considers is Shay. Then she says Steve as like an afterthought. Really, Miranda would have kept sneaking around, cheating if Shay was okay with it. Child, are we supposed to like Miranda? I mean, is the audience supposed to be rooting for her or something? Are we supposed to be sympathizing with Miranda? I they expect us to feel for the Miranda character. I mean, for like, exactly. The level-headed, logical Miranda would not throw her entire stable marriage away for an immature behind person like Shay Diaz. I cannot recall such a turn with a character ever before in my life. Like, where it's not progression. Miranda as a character has devolved. So, Cynthia Nixon is gay in real life, right? And I feel like how she has turned Miranda Hobbs to mirror what seems like mirroring her real life. I don't know if she was married. I don't know if she left somebody or whatever. But mirroring her as far as sexuality, for me, does much more of a disservice. Because when you talk about like gay, bi, non-binary, etc., to me, it's not only about representing those people on television in a right way, because child, they ain't doing good. It's about, if you really want to be woke and change people's minds on certain stereotypes, because there are gay stereotypes. And the problem with stereotypes in general is not that they are inaccurate. It's not that they don't exist. It's that they become the norm. There is truth in stereotypes, but making them the norm is the issue. I loved Miranda Hobbs. Of all four of the characters, Miranda is one I related to the most. Because Miranda mirrored myself in many ways. Not traditionally feminine, many masculine traits, what people would deem masculine traits. Much more masculine than feminine. A strong personality, very direct. Remember that episode of Sex and the City when Miranda took this class trying to find her inner goddess? Like, just stuff like that. I love that about Miranda. Making Miranda gay does a disservice, if you ask me. Because just because you are not a traditionally feminine woman, just because you run all the niggas you be in a relationship with, which Miranda does not equate to you being gay. I have heard stuff like this my entire life. I had family members actually say to me, "Oh, I thought you was going to grow up to be gay because you were such a tomboy when you were a child." What? Like, that's what she doing with Miranda, though. All the ignorant stereotypes and stuff that people would say about Miranda being gay, you done made it come to fruition. Instead of us keeping our girl Miranda Hobbs true to character, they decided to play into the stereotype. They have also changed the heart and moral compass of Miranda Hobbs. Yes, Miranda was always mean, cynical, judgmental, compelled to speak her truth and opinion, whether people wanted to hear it or not. Yes, Miranda was quite often the angry character out of the girls. But Miranda had a kind heart when it came to her friendships and the people she loved. She shared a softer side of herself in her relationships and grew a softer side with the housekeeper whose name I can't remember and Steve. She stuck to her principles, but now she doesn't give a about lying and cheating and hurting the man she has been close to for decades. The man who helped her grow in that emotional side of her that she never really showed. The man who has been patient and loving and caring with her. Child, none of this makes any sense. But it is safe to say this is a completely new character. Miranda says she wants Shay Diaz, and telling Steve she wants a divorce is something she has to do or there is no Shay. Just complete disregard for Steve, a beloved character. This how y'all want to write this? Who y'all already marred in the first movie with the cheating storyline. But he still remains a beloved character because true fans know that it's not Steve. Oh, and Miranda tells Carrie that even without Shay, she would have come to this eventually. No, you wouldn't have. Because you was just saying in the previous episode that you was just going to sit content and accept your sexless, unhappy marriage. That's what you said. You done sat in your marriage complacent despite being unhappy for years. So when exactly would you have gotten to this point? And you literally just said you want Shay Diaz. And this is something you have to do or there is no Shay. So you are doing this because you want Shay Diaz, and she won't be with you if you married. But you was gonna come to this conclusion anyway by yourself? Really, the writers contradict themselves so much, it's crazy. So when Carrie asked Miranda, do you know how much Shay wants you? Good question. Valid question. Child, they cut the scene. Why did y'all cut the scene at that question? This entire Shay Diaz Miranda thing has only been about Shay just wanting to hook up and Miranda spinning around dizzy with her feelings for Shay. Everything has only been about Miranda's feelings. She told Shay, I love you, in the last episode, and y'all, did Shay say it back? Miranda has been so busy diving off the motherfucking dang cliff with her feelings for Shay Diaz, she don't even realize they have not dived off the cliff with her. Shay did not reach out to Miranda not one time in 3 goddamn months. Miranda, child, you are an experienced dater. What does that tell you when a nigga does not call, text, write, email, send a smoke signal, a singing telegram, or nothing for 3 months? So Miranda runs to Shay about her feelings because that's so Miranda. And Shay tell her, I'm in love with you. What? My nigga, y'all hooked up one time and you never bothered to talk to her again for 3 months. Then y'all screw non-stop for 3 weeks. And now the audience supposed to believe that y'all niggas in love with each other? See, you know what? The hell kind of backwards ass timeline is this? What the heck kind of love story is this, child? This how y'all fall in love? This it? Okay. And was Shay not hooking up with anyone else in those 3 months? And what was that? What was with that stupid behind grin on Miranda's face when they was talking in this scene? That was getting on my nerve. This just turned my stomach with how happy Miranda was in this scene versus how hurt Steve was when he cheated in the first movie. I really hate how they are spinning this and how they are portraying this. First of all, Steve wouldn't cheat on Miranda. I don't care. But I can't fight City Hall. Whatever. They wrote it and it's done and over. But they made it clear that Steve cheating was not okay. Do y'all remember Miranda yelling, "You broke us, bitch"? But now, on the flip side, they are making it seem like Miranda's cheating is okay. She ran around happy giddy. Child, Steve and his hearing aids it's getting on my motherfucking nerves. And it's because of the way they are writing it and how they are portraying Steve. It's the way Miranda yells at him. It's the attitude she has when she talks to him. Bitch, you finna break up with the nigga and you still can't be nice? He ain't earned that much in all these years and all the, bruh. If Cynthia Nixon is rude in real life, why the hell she keep being so dang rude to Steve? Just plain mean. It's disgusting. I don't want to be overdramatic, but it is. Do the writers not realize how awful Miranda treats Steve when it comes to his hearing? Like, do the writers talk to deaf or hearing impaired people like this? I'm confused. Do they think this issue's okay? Y'all, I can't. But y'all, this Miranda and Steve divorce conversation was so annoying to me. Really because Miranda was annoying. And I've been waiting for them to have this stupid talk, but this got on my nerve. She tells Steve, this isn't about you. My nigga, he in the marriage. This is about him, you dodo bird. Then she turns around and asks him if he happy. And rightfully so, Steve responds, I thought it wasn't about me. But I want him to say, I thought it wasn't about me. But Steve don't talk like that. Child, you cannot say this not about me and then ask if I'm happy. That don't even make no sense. But let's be real. Miranda does not give a ish about Steve's happiness. His happiness was not a factor when she decided she wanted to cheat. His happiness was not a factor once she decided she wasn't happy. His happiness was not a factor when she tried to reenact the moment she had with Shay using Steve. So why are you now asking about his happiness? I know why. Because she wants him to say he's unhappy so that she can justify cheating and leaving him by saying, well, we were both unhappy and we both knew it was over, because that's how she been spinning the story. Miranda been running around saying, my home is already wrecked. We're unhappy. But the reality is, Steve has not been unhappy and miserable. Steve was happy. Steve's home was not wrecked. He felt like he was in a happy marriage. Steve was good. Which is what I said in a previous video. I said it seems to me like Steve is content and Miranda is checked out. But then in the scene, she repeats herself and says, are you happy? She said it so aggressively. Am I tripping? Did Miranda seem really mean and aggressive and pushy during they talk? Why was she delivering her lines like this? I was like, damn, bitch, no, I ain't happy. Like, yeah, I'm happy. Like, what you want me to say? She said it so aggressive. Like, she was being a bitch. Sorry. Everything Miranda was saying was how she felt and how she presumed Steve felt. She says to him, you want 30 more years of sitting on this sectional eating ice cream with me and watching TV? Yeah, Miranda, actually he did. What the hell do you think you and Shay gonna be doing in 30 years? Y'all, this storyline was handled just so terribly, so poorly. Miranda was not sensitive or delicate or respectful to the history of her and Steve's relationship. Y'all, she was mean. She was mother-freaking mean in this conversation. After the entire Steve-Miranda love story, in the end, they treated Steve like he just ain't matter. Remember the episode of Sex and the City about the old wives' tales or something for single women? Y'all know what I'm talking about? The I know a friend who knew a woman thing. And remember the single woman wives' tale about the woman who has a one-night stand and it turns into marriage? Y'all, is it called a wise tale or an old wives' tale? I don't know, but y'all know what I'm talking about. That was, in that wives' tale ended up being Steve and Miranda. They ended up being the single woman wives' tale that was true. They went from a one-night stand to a love and marriage situation. And y'all decide to just ruin that ish? So Steve says, it's been like this for a long time. You don't think I'm enough, then I'm kind of enough, then I'm not enough again. Because remember, she always neglected him for work or whatever crap. Y'all, this broke my heart when Steve said that. Steve need to go find Debbie. And it hurt my heart when he said he always there, hanging in there for them. And finally, they come to a place where it is not so up and down every day. This hurt me. Steve was happy, y'all. He felt like they were finally in a good place. He was finally not having to fight for Miranda. And Miranda just wrecks it. And she don't even care. Is this what the writers intended for this scene to give? Hate Miranda vibes? Miranda doesn't and never did deserve Steve vibes, because that's all I got. Steve tell her he just want her to be happy, and child, Miranda did not even deserve that. And it was the only thing she took out of the whole conversation. That was crazy. Y'all, I can't. The entire time I was watching, all I could think was, please do not tell him about Shay. Please. He does not deserve that. But of course, Miranda don't give a ish about him. So she just has to say, I've met someone. And did y'all see the look on Steve's face when she said that? Did y'all see the look on Steve's face? He the still act. Child, I was ready to toss motherfucking tomatoes at Miranda's face. There was absolutely no need to tell him that. She could have told him the same thing that she told Carrie, that she would rather be alone. Being honest to be cruel, it ain't right. He ain't need that. So then Miranda, I ain't got the sense God gave a Duck Hobbs, calls Carrie with a stupid grin on her face, saying, I did it. I said my feelings and I didn't blame him. Bitch, fuck your feelings. Okay, with Miranda. Miranda was on the phone freaking laughing and happy and grinning and saying, I'm going to Cleveland. I'm in a rom-com, Carrie. No, Miranda, if you in a movie, you in the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You in a psychological thriller. Child, I don't think this giving what Cynthia Nixon think it's supposed to be giving. But Carrie act like she could care less. She could care less that her friend's marriage just ended. That her friend is making life-altering decisions like a dodo bird. That her friend leaving her stable marriage for a pothead, irresponsible, self-centered, immature person. Child, they terrible. They are terrible friends, really. When Miranda announced this at the dinner, it felt like Carrie and Charlotte's reaction just, I don't know. I mean, they showed no care or concern for Miranda. They showed no care or concern for Steve, who they have also known for ages. But I guess he just don't matter. And then Miranda sit down. Like, did she sit down and talk to her son? Or did she just run out the door to rush to Shay? But this scene really annoyed me, y'all. Like, what do you want, Miranda? A pat on the back? I said my feelings. She was just glowing and proud with that stupid grin on her face. After being completely insensitive to Steve. This was just so cold. And I really feel like they would have written, if they would have written this for a man cheating and leaving his wife for the side chick, breaking his wife's heart coldly after screaming at her to put her hearing aid in, then skipping to the airport to run to his side chick. And has anything even been established as far as Miranda and Shay? You just left a whole motherfucking marriage, and do you even know where you stand with Shay? Because from what I could tell, y'all just screwing. And Shay saying she don't want that traditional, to me, means she does not want to be in a monogamous relationship. That I take it. But does Miranda even know what Shay meant when she said she don't want nothing traditional? But y'all, let's be for real. What exactly has happened between Miranda and Shay to make them be in love with each other? For real. Like, can anybody tell me that? The only thing between them is sex. What am I missing? Miranda just kept saying, I've never felt like this regarding their sexual interactions. But what has actually transpired between them? What do y'all think Miranda is going to find Shay doing in Cleveland? Is this storyline going to be a happily ever after thing? What do y'all think Miranda and Shay will be doing in 30 years? Whose house will Brady and his girlfriend be screwing in? Where will Brady's girlfriend live now? But Miranda is just written so dang heartless and dumb. And I'm confused as to the goal for the character. Carrie asked her if she wanted to buy a brownie for Steve for their dessert ritual, which is when she was planning to tell Steve she wanted a divorce, right? And Miranda's response was, how much does it cost? Really, Miranda? Y'all privileged ass women really nice when you want to know how much something costs? First of all, it's a brownie, not a car. Whatever the price is, it ain't gonna break the bank. Who is green lighting this script? Are we supposed to like these characters? Oh, and during the talk with Steve, Miranda says, we're not old, Steve. But y'all niggas done spent the entire series conveying to the audience that y'all old. That Steve old and broken down. I have never seen such backward ass ish in my entire life. Now, at the end of the episode, Carrie sees her neighbor fighting with her boyfriend and breaking up in a hallway as she walking down the stairs. Now, the neighbor tell the boyfriend, get out or she'll call the cops. And he say, good luck with that. They don't come no more. Huh? Y'all, what am I missing? The police don't come when white women call no more? That was confusing for me. Why did he say that? What am I missing? But y'all, why did Carrie just stop and... You thought you was finna disappear on the stairs? Why she just did that? Child, I'm the neighbor. I would have kept walking. I would have walked right on past him in the middle of the argument. He would have been right here. She would have been right there to walk right between them. My name Bennett and I ain't in it and I'm going to keep on with my walk. I have been walking past neighbors arguing as I was walking my dog. And my dog would choose that moment to stop and pee or stop and sniff something. And child, I was standing right there. I was standing right there letting my dog sniff. They be yelling and arguing and my dog be sniffing. I mean, the walk is for the dog. And they like to sniff things. That's how they get their information. They sniffs on their walks. It's like checking their dog's social media. So I ain't finna interrupt that. Go on, get your turn, child. And I would chuck the deuce while they arguing too. I catch eyes with them like, yeah. But after Carrie says the simple line, it's dating in New York, the girl tells her she's cool. Child, what is the moral of the dang story? What's the point of the story? Who at 50-something gives a... If some random neighbor thinks they cool. Child, at 35, I don't care. That's some random person you don't know from a can of paint deems you cool or hip. I'm sorry, child. I ain't even care at 21. This was so odd. Is this the best y'all could come up with for Carrie? Really? After all Carrie has been through, she really needed that validation from a complete stranger? And who says the neighbor is cool? Are we just stepping her cool because she young? So, they played Chasing Rainbows by Big Freedia at the end of the episode to show us they're cool or woke. Okay. Why does this show put Big, the ultimate worst, on a pedestal, but the good guy Steve gets treated like dirt? By the writers? By the characters? So are they going to destroy Harry's legacy? Are they going to destroy Charlotte and Harry marriage next? Let me guess. Harry going to have a secret second family on the other side of Park Avenue. I can't with this show. Child, they need to hurry up. I'm not watching season 2. Thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you watched until the end, guys. If you're still here, drop a 100 in the comments. If you like my content, please make sure you support my channel. Like this video, share this video, comment down below, and make sure you subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.